This man has been locked in a room by unknown forces, and the only way he can get food, water, and all that he needs to survive is by making sure that the people watching him stay entertained. A man wakes up in the middle of a room naked, with no way out, and he has no idea how he got there. He starts panicking, punching the walls, and screaming to be let out. A message appears on the computer screen asking if he wants to share, and he types in a bunch of things like help and exit, but none of them work. Finally, he says yes to sharing, and it is revealed that footage of the room is being shared live. Some time passes, and he fails to figure out what is going on. He thinks he's part of some kind of experiment. He goes to pee in the toilet provided in the room, but when he tries to wash his hands, he discovers that there is no water coming out of the faucet. He learns from the screen that he has to buy the water with 5 points, but his current points are 0. He gets frustrated. Next, he farts during his sleep, and suddenly he receives points. He quickly buys some water with it. He continues making farting noises to get more points. As he is showering, he gets even more points. He quickly realizes that in order to get points, he has to be entertaining. He does a handstand and hurts himself, and this gets him quite a lot of points. Now, he has enough points to buy food. He has the option to buy good, better, or best food with different prices, and when he chooses good, he is given dog food. He gets frustrated and tells whoever is running this experiment to stop messing with him. But when no one answers, he makes the best of the situation by acting like a dog to eat and making more points in the process. Afterward, he buys some good clothes and he is given a bra, but like a champ, he puts it on and makes more points. At night, he stops sharing and sits in the corner crying. However, the next morning, he gets right to work, providing entertainment. Soon, he has enough points to buy a bed, some better clothes, a mirror, and better food and drinks. He has a few too many drinks, and in a drunken state, he starts hitting the computer screen. As he does this, his points start going down. Finally, he falls to the ground and goes to sleep. Next, the power goes out in the room, and the computer turns off. The man gets scared. He starts panicking and getting angry. He punches the walls, the computer screen, throws things around, tries to escape out the hatch where his purchases come in, but nothing works. Some time passes and his spirit starts breaking as he has no food to eat or water to drink. Finally, distraught, he kneels in front of the screen and apologizes for his behavior when he was drunk, realizing that might have caused this. He begs for a second chance. Soon after this, the power comes back on, and he breathes a sigh of relief. Then, an old man appears on his screen who is trapped in a room just like him. The old man explains that every now and then, they are given a chance to socialize like this. The old man looks like he's been trapped in the room for a long time. He says that he knows the young man has many questions like, what is this place? Who is he? But all of those are pointless. This is all their life is now. The old man is a bit of a nutcase, and he goes on, philosophizing about human existence, evolution, and how these rooms represent all that human life has become now. He also has some kind of chest infection and coughs a lot. The young man starts to get tired of the ranting and coughing and tries to mute him, but he doesn't have the option. As the old man sleeps, the young man learns that there are tons of people just like him trapped in rooms, and they are all providing some form of entertainment to make a living, such as math classes or yoga videos. They are all known through assigned numbers. Next, it is revealed that the old man makes a living by giving lectures on philosophy, but he doesn't make that many points, while the young man does a flip, hurts his back, and ends up getting tons. The old man realizes that having a friendship with the young man is in his favor. He apologizes for being obnoxious, forms a friendship with the young man, and then asks him to buy him some food. Next, as the two men talk, the young man asks who the old man thinks put them here and what they want. The old man says that he has talked to many people about this, and nobody really has an answer. After some time, the old man tells the young man that his flips and farts are not going to keep paying for much longer. Soon, they will start to become redundant and pay less and less. If he wants to survive, he needs to build a proper product to sell. The old man offers to help him form a persona and create his brand so that they can both live off of his points. He teaches the young man about camera presence and angles and other such things which don't really come naturally to him. He does different activities in his daily streams, like cooking, working out, singing, all of which he keeps messing up. However, as a result, his persona becomes that of a lovable idiot. He starts earning lots of points, and both he and the old man start living comfortably. He even creates his own signature sign-off, in which he moves his hands and says, "Ta-da!" Meanwhile, every night while the old man sleeps, the young man watches the stream of a yoga instructor that he likes. He always rewards her 14 points because that is his assigned number, hoping she'll notice. As his streams become famous, she finally catches on one day and does his signature sign-off at the end of her stream. Next, the two men get to socialize with a woman who appears to be new. She immediately asks all the same questions like what is happening here, who put them in these rooms, and if they have tried to escape. The old man tries to give her the same nihilistic speech he gave to the young man, but she does not pay attention to him. She is fully focused on figuring out what is going here and how they are going to get out. She talks to the young man and learns that when he hit the screen, he lost points. She theorizes that this means there is a security system in place to prevent them from getting behind the screen. But is it meant to keep them in here or out from somewhere else? She says that the key to all this must lie in who they all were before they got here. She asks the young man who he was, and he says that he was a nobody. He didn't stand out from the crowd and did not matter. Definitely not like he does here. Shocked, she asks him if he thinks that this is better than his life before, and he doesn't give a straight answer. While this conversation is going on, the young man's screen keeps reminding him to start streaming, almost as if to interrupt the conversation. Afterward, they learn that the woman does puppetry to make a living. Next, the young man is watching the yoga instructor's stream again, but instead of rewarding her points, he gives them to the woman so that she can buy some shower curtains and get some privacy. She isn't grateful. Instead, she says that she doesn't need or want the young man to do things for her. Next, the woman sees the young man's stream and realizes that he rakes in a lot of points, which means that a lot of people are watching him. She says that they can use this attention to unite all the streamers for a coordinated escape attempt. The old man disagrees with her, and as the two fight, the young man sides with the woman, upsetting the old man. At night, the old man's chest infection gets worse, and he starts coughing uncontrollably. He has some kind of attack that leaves him in a paralyzed state. The woman and the young man desperately start thinking of ways to help him. The young man goes on his stream and asks his followers for help. Meanwhile, the woman starts going through the different menus available on her computer, trying to find one that may help. One menu has the option to enter the number of a different room's occupant. Oddly, the menu only appears on the woman's computer. They assume that perhaps whoever's number they enter will get help. But as she executes the command with the old man's number, his entire room is lit on fire. She desperately tries to undo the command, but to no avail. The old man burns to death right in front of their eyes. After this, both the young man and the woman become depressed and spend most of their time quietly sitting around their room in despair. The young man tries to cheer the woman up and convince her that it wasn't her fault. She doesn't respond for a while, but then the young man uses puppets to cheer her up, and that gets her attention. She says that the two need to drink. As they drink together, they talk about their lives. She finally lets down her guard, and they bond. The woman says that they should dance. While dancing, the young man asks what her last memory was. She says that she was practicing a song while playing it on a record. She remembers seeing the singer's face on the record, but in her memory, the face has a black hole burnt through it. The young man says that he was watching his brother's dog, and the last thing he remembers is looking down at the dog. But in his memory, too, there is a hole burnt through the dog's face. Their dances start getting dirty, and desperate for any kind of action, the two pleasure themselves while looking at each other through the screen. Afterward, the two discuss that only the woman could execute the command that she did. So maybe similarly, there are things that others can do, and they can't. If these rooms are designed by humans, such commands may even be glitches or faults in the system. If they can get the attention of all the streamers, get them to find their glitches and work together, maybe they can find a way out of here. The young man goes live and talks about the old man's death to get people's attention. He says that the only way they can get out is if they all work together. He instructs them all to find glitches in their systems. He is giving a rousing speech when suddenly a socialization window opens with the yoga instructor that he has a crush on. He is immediately distracted, and the woman immediately takes note. As they make acquaintance with the yoga instructor, her jealousy and annoyance is apparent. Afterward, the instructor goes to sleep, and the other two see if the message is spreading and find that it is. Other people have started sharing the glitches in their systems. Afterward, the woman is asleep, and the yoga instructor and the young man finally get to talk one-on-one. They talk about the woman's sullen behavior on first meeting the yoga instructor. The young man says that she's just been through a lot, but the yoga instructor says that everyone has been through a lot, and happiness is a choice. She says that she could never tolerate such negative energy around her. Because she is hot, the young man falls for her toxic positivity speech. Next, the woman wakes up and shows the young man that lots of glitches have been discovered, including people who can turn on other people's sprinklers and ventilation shafts. One woman even has the ability to move other people's walls. She says that using this information, they can start to orient themselves, and then bring all of this crumbling down. She points out that some people are pushing back against them because they are worried that the two might kill everyone by collapsing this entire system. However, this just validates their movement. The young man, who has lost some enthusiasm for the movement now that he has a yoga instructor friend with a gifted backside, says that some people are just happy living here, and he can understand because he can see some upside to it. He says that he's still with the movement, but they can't keep giving people anger. They have to balance it out. The woman is outraged because she knows this is the hot instructor talking, not him. She starts cutting her hair, and he asks why she's doing that. She replies that she is removing distraction. She says their captors have noticed their movement and sent the hot yoga instructor to distract the young man away from it. At night, the young man gets up and goes through random streams and finds a man who has just been thrown in the room. He remembers how that was for him and gets emotional. Next, the yoga instructor streams while the other two are trying to sleep. And when the woman calls her out, a fight begins in which the yoga instructor calls the woman a bully, who is controlling the young man like a puppet and trying to destroy everything that all these people here have worked so hard to build. After she leaves, the young man asks the woman what if their movement fails and all his followers leave him. She says that the ones who love him the most will stay. The next day, they run a test to see how many people are still listening to him and ask each of his followers to reward him with just 1 point. Suddenly, he receives hundreds of thousands of points, and the two are thrilled. He is about to point out how powerful the movement is when the yoga instructor goes live and says that he is just trying to steal everyone's money and he's not being himself, but rather succumbing to the toxic woman's influence. The young man tries to explain that this is not what he is doing, but a fight breaks out between the two women, as the woman accuses the yoga instructor of being an agent of their captors, while the yoga instructor accuses her of trying to throw people into negativity and darkness. The woman asks one of the other streamers to start the sprinklers of the yoga instructor's room to shut her up, and the yoga instructor asks her followers to back her up. Someone lights the woman's room on fire, while the woman lights the yoga instructor's room on fire. The young man watches as both women burn to death, and then the power goes out. As he sits there horrified, a door opens in the back wall of his room to a bright, sunny day. He is absolutely ecstatic. However, just as he is about to walk out, the power comes back on. Instead of walking out, he comes back inside to go live and show the people that he's found a way out. But just then, the door closes back up. He has paid the price for being addicted to live streaming everything. He stands still for a moment, devastated, and then he decides to do his signature sign-off that he does at the end of all of his segments, so that he can profit off of all this attention. It works, as his points go crazy with rewards. The end. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like our channel and subscribe if you enjoy content like this. Also, let us know what movie you would love us to recap for you.